So this is the Oppo Reno 6 Pro, and I know you might have seen all the unboxing reviews and everything, so I'm not going to take much time on that. It's like the you know it, I know it moment. We are going to see whether the Oppo Reno 6 Pro has really good cameras as everyone is saying, or is it another gimmick? Well, this is Prateek from TechWiser.com and you are already watching TechWiser. This video is going to be so fun. Let's go. Now, before we talk about the camera, let's quickly see what you get out of the box. Within the box, you get a case, the phone itself, a 65-watt charger, a USB cable and Type-C earphones, so no headphone jack. And now to the phone itself, it's quite interesting. See, you have a Type-C port at the bottom with a mic, single speaker, and on the side you get volume buttons, and on the other side you have the power button. On the top you have secondary noise cancellation mic. And this portion is not only flat, you can make the phone do a headstand and it also glows in the dark. Wow, never thought that I would need this feature. It's easy to find the phone in the dark. And there's no stereo speaker at this price. There should have been a stereo speaker. On the SIM card tray, you can only put 2 SIM cards, no memory expansion, which is okay since the base variant starts at 256 GB storage. The display you get is 90Hz Full HD AMOLED. And this is a curved display, you see, but the best part of the phone is the multi-texture glass in back. The back is so good and shiny. And if you use a microscope, it looks something like this. It's so amazing to see this design up so close. The in-hand feel of the phone really feels premium. Now let's jump straight to the camera. You get a 64 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and of course, those 2 megapixel macro and black and white camera. Noise. So we have always heard smartphone cameras are great and they are really the next big thing. But we still see professional photographers using DSLR or mirrorless camera for video shoot. So now let's head out and put this camera to test against a Canon 70D, which costs somewhere between 80 to 90,000. That would be fun. Let's go. So we are trying to take photos of different objects in different lighting conditions and different perspective. I hope that Mrinal won't be able to identify the difference between two pictures. Let's just get back and bring Mrinal in. So this is gonna be fun. One of the image is taken from the Canon EOS 70D and the other one is from Oppo Reno 6 Pro. So who do we have to decide? Mrinal. So Mrinal will pick up which one's which, and you can also see the image right in front whenever it starts, and you can also comment in the comments below. So this is the first one. This is really tough because this is not fake blur. This is all natural blur.
So I think between both of them, A looks better, and I would say A has to be from the DSLR and B has to be from the Oppo Reno 6 since it's a small device.
Even I'm confused at the moment, but I'm sure the A one is Oppo Reno 6 Pro and the B is the DSLR, which is funny. I thought Canon would have like really good white balance. Canon cameras in general have really good skin tone and white balance bang on.
A is better, nice.
So A is Oppo Reno 6 Pro.
Okay. So
Mrinal 0, Prateek 1.
this is soon gonna change.
Okay,
so A and B. Right off the bat,
this is interesting.
I think B is better because the B has all that. It's not overexposed in the cloud area, so there is that.
Actually, you can see the entire
frame
architecture in the camera. Yep, in the shadows.
It's not that visible. So yeah, I think B is better, and again, as a normal user, I'm thinking from a normal user perspective, the B has to be from the DSLR. So
means B is 70D and A is Oppo Reno 6
Pro. Did I get it
right? This is a tough one. If any of you guys use a DSLR, you would understand how difficult it is to do an HDR in a DSLR, but it's pretty easy with camera, and we take it for granted. Like the Oppo one does it better.
Okay, so you are telling me that B is Oppo Reno 6
Pro, yeah.
Basically, the underdog is always the Oppo Reno 6 Pro. So that's how I'm gonna think from now on. Let's see if I'm right. Moving on to the third one.
Oh, this one's a landscape.
Hey, this is a landscape, so yeah.
We're trying to shoot against the light because phones are pretty good at HDR, but DSLRs, it takes a lot of effort to make a good HDR photo out of this.
Yeah, definitely the B is far better. The dynamic range, I can clearly see the clouds in B and there's no clouds in A. So I would say the B is better, and since from the pattern that I have been seeing so far, the Oppo Reno 6 Pro is a better camera compared to a DSLR. So yeah, the B is Oppo Reno 6 Pro. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yay! Nice.
This was shot against the sunlight, so you have like really bright sun right into your face. We weren't able to see through it. But it did a good job. As you would know, HDR is better on phone's camera.
Oh, nice, man. That's a cool shot. You should use it.
We have a nice model.
Yeah. Clearly, B is better. It has a better dynamic range. The blur is slightly, but there is a slight bit of blur if you take a look at the legs here.
That's because of the slow shutter speed. It kind of missed it.
So yeah, the B is Oppo Reno 6 Pro.
Yeah, B is Oppo Reno 6 Pro.
There you go. 2 out of 2.
2
out of
no,
4.
2 out of 2. You're having your own mathematics. 2 out of 2. 100%. It has done a good job overall. Overall, if I have to pick, even I'll pick the B one. But the conditions were slightly different, so it was tough for the Reno 6 Pro.
You do look like a model though. I have to give you that.
Did we have this on camera?
Okay. Oh man, in this one, B is definitely better. If you take a look at the beard here compared to this one, so there's a very stark difference. The blur is also quite good. So yeah, I would pick B, and I would say that B is from Oppo Reno 6 Pro.
We used a 50mm lens for this one, but for some weird reason, it turned out to be this way.
Okay, so tell me which one is which.
So B is Oppo Reno 6 Pro and A is
3 out of 5. We are only getting better here. So this is, next up we have portrait.
This one's gonna be tough.
That's
because there is no portrait mode here. Both are on level fields. It's a flat image.
That's gonna be tricky, right? If I have to pick, I would pick B. The colors are brighter in the t-shirt. The skin tone looks more like a regular skin tone from what you have right now.
You don't judge skin tone this way. You have to be there at the actual scenario to judge the skin tone. You can't look at my face and say, oh, the skin tone's accurate.
But yeah, still, I will say B for Oppo Reno 6 Pro. What do you think?
I'm afraid you are again right.
There you go.
And so the weird thing here is the AI can detect a human face. So it has sharpened all these portions, and a lot of post processing has been done on this part, so you don't get an overexposed.
Oh, did you turn off the beauty mode?
I did turn off the beauty mode. And here, if you look at the wall also, the wall is even, like everything is evenly sharpened. So that was
Oh man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
I posted this on Twitter as well. Even the audience was pretty amazed from the results.
Okay, so this one is tough, but if I have to pick one, I will go with the A one, because your face in the B looks overexposed and the A has more natural skin tone, and the color of the t-shirt is also perfectly balanced. This one, the A and the blur, I think blur is good in both of them. If a smartphone is able to achieve this blur, then that's something. So A is Oppo Reno 6.
So the tricky part here is, I'll tell you the answer obviously.
Okay. Oh, obviously I'm right.
Yeah, you are.
From the pattern that we are seeing, Oppo Reno 6 Pro has a very good camera.
For the dynamic range. So the dynamic range pattern. Even I was amazed after taking this shot. I haven't seen this amount of really good AI blur on a phone camera.
So a lot of people who are using front camera for TikTok videos, that now that TikTok is coming, or Instagram Reels, or even short form content, I think the front camera in Oppo Reno 6 Pro will be definitely something you should look out for. And with that note, got 5 out of 7 right. So what am I getting?
Claps and love from the audience. Love, subscribe to the channel.
Since I got 5 of them right, how about I get 5,000 likes for this one? So what do you guys think? Should we get the 5,000 likes?
Now, I didn't show in the videos we took at night because DSLRs usually don't perform that good in low light right out of the camera. Like here you see, this is the 1080p footage on Canon with 1000 ISO. We can't go higher than that. The footage turns out to be too noisy. And this is Oppo. Like you can barely see the Canon footage, and if we boost the exposure in post, now the Canon looks a bit better. But the strange thing is, you get this footage from Oppo's camera straight without editing, and that's the power of AI. I like that. Now moving on, Oppo Reno 6 comes with MediaTek Dimensity 1200, which is MediaTek's flagship processor, along with 8GB LPDDR4X RAM and 256GB UFS 3.1 storage. The best specs that MediaTek Dimensity 1200 can support. This is the first time I'm using a Dimensity 1200 chip, and I was amazed to see that it performs really cool. In the CPU throttling test, absolutely no throttling to the CPU. After the 15-minute test, the temperature was roughly around 39-40 degrees Celsius. I liked playing BGMI on the thing. It easily reaches 60 FPS with smooth graphics and extreme frame rate. And if you want to push the chip and play a heavy game like Genshin Impact, I can run it at the highest settings and it performs pretty well. It does get a bit heated if you see, so I would recommend keep it at medium graphics and 60 FPS. And in terms of charging, I've always followed Oppo and Vivo charging tech because the innovation they do, it later comes to other budget phones in Realme and OnePlus. This time you see a 65-watt fast charger. Now it might not seem new to you, but the Oppo Reno 6 Pro, this thing can charge from 0 to 100 in just 31 minutes. So what really is happening over here, that with newer Oppo and OnePlus phone, the adapter watt hasn't increased, but overall charging has become efficient. So all in all, I'm really impressed with the camera. See, AI and HDR is really easy to do in photos because you're dealing with one frame at a time. But in videos, it's done in real time. And the processor has to deal with 30 frames per second. Crazy good AI on the Dimensity 1200. And not just that, it has a really good 90Hz curved AMOLED display, camera performance, 11 5G bands and 65-watt fast charging. Although there's some room for improvement in the software part, ColorOS still has some bloatware and those random browser notification. Plus, the bootloader is unlocked, so no custom ROM, no rooting. But all in all, Oppo Reno 6 Pro is a good well-rounded phone that you should really consider if you're looking to buy a phone to vlog or for camera needs. You can get it in sale online at around 37-36, but I would also suggest you to check offline as well. Let us know, what do you think of the whole AI getting into smartphone cameras? Will they beat a DSLR someday? On that note, this is Pradeep from TechVisor.com. I'll see you pretty soon.